Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, everybody. This is Malika speaking. I just want to come on here to share some of my thoughts. Yesterday, I had so much things going through my head, and I didn't get a chance to record yesterday. It was just like running through my mind. And I thought I'd record, but I didn't have the chance. And usually, I write things down and then I share them, but I didn't get a chance. But I just thought like I would just come on here and speak. And I don't usually do this. I don't like speaking on camera, but I just thought that I would let it out. And I just want to speak a little bit about how to preserve our cultural heritage and how important it is, because I feel like we are going to lose, and it's going to slowly disappear, like our cultural heritage. Like right now, we don't even have access to anything. It's very little our children get access to. We don't have products in Oromo. We don't have Oromo toys. We don't have Oromo um, things like the little kids can connect with. I mean, like when you go to the store, there's so many things kids want to buy, but there's nothing like in Oromo that can represent the Oromo identity. And then speaking of our parents come here from another country through trauma and all the hardships they went through to come here, but then at the end they end up losing the Oromo-ness. Where's our Oromuma? Where is that? And how are kids going to connect with that later on? Because at least I had my parents. They were Oromo. They lived in Oromia, and so they came with that. So I was able to connect with the heritage through my parents. But then I grew up here, and so what are my kids connecting with? I don't even speak the language at home. Like I speak the language, I can speak it, but I don't speak it fluently, and it's just easier for me to speak English at home. And then everything we do at home is like connected to the Canadian culture. They know they're Oromo, but it's not the same as like living in Oromia and like breathing and living Oromia. You know what I mean? They're just here in Canada, and everything they do is just whatever this culture has to bring. So we need to bring more of the Oromo culture here by creating more things, being more creative, and bringing the Oromo culture here so that we can preserve the heritage. And like our parents, even them in Ethiopia, they weren't even allowed to speak the language. Like the language was just banned in the ban was just lifted in 1991. Before that, even the language wasn't allowed to be spoken, right? And so like even they couldn't celebrate their Oromo culture in peace and in happiness and openly in freedom. They weren't able to do that. And then they come here and then they have kids, and then we have no connection as well. Like we have some events here and there, but a lot of the kids, I don't know if they can really identify with like really being Oromo, especially like maybe like the next generation coming up. At least we had our parents, but then how about our kids? Like what are they connecting with? I mean, like we can always take them back to Oromia, but majority of us are going to be living here. We're not moving back there anytime soon, even though I know a few families who have done that, and I think that's amazing. But majority of us are going to be here, and our kids are here, and they're going to have kids, and they're all going to be living here. The majority of them, right? And so, like even when I was as a kid, going to school, it was so isolating, and you feel left out because nobody knows what Oromo is. Like if you tell people, hey, I'm Oromo, it's like, what is that? Like nobody knows what that is. And as a kid, you can't really explain. You're not going to explain to the teacher and go through the history about what is Oromo and what is Oromia. And even if you say you're from Ethiopia, that's associated with like the Amharic language, not the Oromo language. And we don't, as Oromos, we don't really identify like, oh, we're Ethiopian. At home, we don't say we're Ethiopian. We say we are Oromo. Like even the government banned our language. Why would we happily associate with being from Ethiopia? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So it's just like, I think we have to work twice as hard to preserve the heritage, the culture, and to bring that here. And it's just, yeah, I was just thinking about it. I'm just like, time is ticking, and our parents are getting older, and is just, it's going to be very hard to continue the heritage unless we, our generation now, unless we actively be creative and do more to preserve the heritage and the culture. And so even the products that I came up with, I'm very passionate about mental health and emotional wellness and family. And so like my products are about feelings, like my feelings posters, self-care posters, my flashcards, my book. They're for kids, and you can find all that here. You can find feelings posters, flashcard posters, books about how we feel. That's not even like the main thing, like the main important thing about my products. That's not what makes it unique. What makes it unique is because the characters are Oromo cartoons, and they're wearing Oromo cultural clothing, and the book and the flashcards are in English and Afan Oromo both. And I wish like I had that growing up as a kid. Like I feel like that would have made so much of a difference for me to have access to resources with Oromo cartoons, wearing Oromo clothes, and reading, having things to read in Oromo language. I feel then maybe I would have had more confidence, would have been able to like speak the language more if I had more resources to learn from. Because I'm probably like more of a visual learner, even though like I can understand the language, I can hear and I can understand it. But I feel like maybe if I had books I can read from and visually learn, I would have been able to like learn it more, maybe. I feel like a lot of you can relate to that, and I feel like a lot of you would have wished that we had more Oromo products growing up. And so yeah, so that's why I made them in Oromo, because I wanted my kids to connect with the heritage, with the culture. I'm just doing my little part, what I can do, but I'm just one person, but we need more of us to do more to preserve the culture and the heritage, or we're going to lose it, and that is very scary to think of. And yeah, I think that's all I just wanted to share. It was just like really bothering me. It was just on my mind. And I hope my message reaches you guys and you guys understand what I'm talking about. And so leave your comments below. Let's connect. Let's create more things. Let's support each other and do more to preserve our Oromo heritage, our culture, so we can pass it down to the next generation, because it makes so much of a difference when kids can see products and other things in their environment, that things that look like them and represent their culture. They'll feel, it will make so much of a difference in their self-esteem and in their confidence, and being able to openly identify with something that they can see. They can say, hey, that's Oromo, I'm Oromo too, like, but if they're here and like nothing is in their environment that they can see physically that represents Oromo, it'll be very hard for them to connect with, because we don't live in Oromia. So we have to bring Oromia here. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's just that's what I want to say. And I hope we can do that in the future. I hope we can grow. And yeah, I'll link down in the description other businesses and organizations who are doing more to preserve the heritage, and we should support them. And we should support them with our money. I think we need to stop being cheap in our Oromo community, trying to get things for free, or like not wanting to pay for things, because you have to invest in yourself and in your family and in the community, because then when you invest in them, they can use that money to make more things, and then the business will grow, the community will grow, and it just benefits all of us, right? So we need to do more financially too, in supporting each other. And I don't think it's a bad thing to do that. I think that's great. If someone's selling something for $200, well, maybe it's worth $200. The value, look at the value of what it's bringing to the community, right? Stop looking for things that are cheap. The Oromo culture is priceless, and we have to do everything we can to support that, and to make it grow, and to preserve for our future generations. That is my speech for the day. I hope hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned. I hope you guys connected and understood what I'm trying to say. That's the main thing. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say at the root. And I look forward to connecting with you all, seeing you all, and I hope to get more messages And thank you for all of you who have supported me so far in purchasing my bundles, my flashcards, my books, and my posters. I appreciate you guys, and I'm making this, the stuff I'm creating is for the future generation. It's for our children, so it benefits us all. So have a good day. Bye.